Okay, let's attempt to have a look at these map sheets. This is map sheet 1, which is the top northern end of the playing area. This map sheet is slightly bigger than the others, I noticed. Well, that's just the way it is. And you can see we've got lots of levels. Germans start in control of this ridge. We've got this is treated as a paved road all the way up to the corner. This is very important. The only road where the vehicles don't pay mod costs and don't risk bog, although there is also the railway here that is almost parallel, and so that is also without bog, although it is a slower movement. Anyway, the New Zealanders come in from the side here, from the southeast, and their aim is to capture this ridge and important in one of the campaign games, or for the campaign games, are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victory location buildings. We've got entry area up here where Germans come in for a counterattack. This is the friendly board edge down here in blue. And looking at terrain types, it's fairly straightforward. We have olive groves, okay. We have ploughed fields. We have vineyards here. And here, just a few of these. These are reed beds, which are a kind of, let's say, a light bamboo. They are treated as an in-season orchard, but they cost 3 MF, so they're quite slow to move through. Oh yes, and lots of cliffs because of the very steep slopes on some of these ridges, gullies, streams. There's a bit of variety, and you can see we've got some paths through those olive groves and vineyards as well. So much fought over, and quite an interesting challenge to fortify for the Germans as well. Okay, map sheet 2 in all its glory. So this one follows just below map 1. We see the railway and important road that go all the way down. So these were very, very important for both sides. And we got some arrows along here pointing there and there. Exceptionally important, absolutely essential for the New Zealanders to capture in the campaign games, at least the ones involving the northern area, if they are to have any chance of winning overall. Again, Germans can come in along this blue edge. The New Zealanders come in from the right in the campaigns. And of course, the scenarios are just different. They all have their particular setup areas, entry areas, etc. Oh, and we also have an example of some of the on-map printed haystacks. Haystacks where units of certain types under certain conditions, they can set up hidden. Okay. Then we have map 3. So we can just see that we're beginning to get getting close to the village that just appears here. Again, we've got road and railway going all the way down the map. All these other lateral roads, yes, they reduce the chance of bog in the mud conditions, but it doesn't eliminate it altogether. So they are better for vehicles, but there's still a risk. Notice we've got some on-map printed minefield, Achtung Minen markers. This is area in surrounding with a blue band. That is a suspected, or should we say, where there were a lot of mines, but neither the Germans nor, of course, the New Zealanders knew exactly where the mines were. So it is it's an interesting minefield area, and rules tools to deal with that. So what else can we say about this particular map? Again, this pale road is also treated as it's not paved, but at least it's free of bog. And then we have paved road that begins here, coming into the village, and again extensive cliffs that go all the way up, and of course they have that effect of really channeling the attack of the New Zealanders, and that's just one of the features of a very interesting feature of this battle. We also have a huge cemetery, and there again there is a walkthrough video that covers that cemetery, very particular and sad story around that. Finally, map 4, the one furthest to the south, and now the road does some interesting things. It comes down, twists around, goes into the back of the village, and a different road then continues down the railway, does a loop, and continues through. So as you can see, the village completely commanded the best road, the only good road that went through here, and the Germans essentially acted as a cork in the bottle that prevented the New Zealanders from getting through. New Zealanders' target was, having tried and failed to take the village frontally, the aim, as reflected in the campaign games, was to come down here and destabilize the German front, force them to retreat or be surrounded and captured. And, well, it'll be up to you as the player to see if you can make the New Zealanders come down and achieve their objectives, or whether you hold them back, as historically the Germans did. Okay, and this, as you can see, layout of the village, very tightly packed, very historical layout of the streets and buildings. Much of this was destroyed. It was absolutely devastated, and that's not an exaggeration by the battle, but some survived. The extremely solidly built school mostly survived, and the rest was rebuilt. Others, like the medieval castle, they did not survive the bombardments and were torn down. Notice we have some very wide roads coming through here. These are treated as city boulevards with a permanent cumulative -1 to any units they're in. And we got these very interesting streets and buildings to deal with the peculiarities of having a hex grid and needing to be able to have clear movement and lines of sight laterally as well. So again, some interesting features. Be prepared to have to deal with a lot of rubble and debris as bombardments increasingly damage the village. So there we are. Very interesting maps, and yeah, have fun moving your counters around.